Hi there, Josh here. Welcome to Frames Per Second. Today we are looking at the Nikon Lite Touch Zoom 150 ED. So let's get to it. So I've shot a few Nikon point and shoot cameras, and something about the Nikon Lite Touch Zoom 150 ED is that it seems more like an Olympus point and shoot. Like just the size of it, the design, the clamshellness of it. The previous Nikon point and shoot that I did a video back in 2020 was a bit more of a flatter one with like a flatter door, but this one is very Olympus MJU like, which I don't know who copied who, but the size of this is wonderful. It's not as small as the MJUs, but it is a lot smaller than the other Nikon point and shoots I have, like the L35 AF and ADs. The size of this is very pocketable, and I am always a big fan of the clamshell type of cameras that you just slide and then it comes out. Now this is a zoom one, so obviously the lens is a bit slower, but that is quite a zoom. And you got quite a few options. There's obviously a flash, it's a point and shoot, most of them have that. And so this camera I got from the Cameraholics fair this year, which I got for a friend who I'll be sending it to, who's been kind of interested to shoot film. They've used some disposables and stuff, and I just think point and shoot's a lot better than that. It's more reusable, better for the environment, and honestly just better optics and more options for films. This takes the CR123A batteries, which are very accessible. You can get them at Woolworths, you can get them at Battery World, you can get it at J-Car. There's a lot of different places you can get them from, which makes it a good camera for people who aren't around areas with heaps of different battery stores. I haven't had any issues with this camera from the roll I put through it. One thing I do like is you do have an adjustable diopter for the viewfinder, so if you need glasses or your eyes is a bit different from another person, you can adjust it. It's not just one set one, which is quite nice. There's quite a few different menu options, so you can either have red eye removal, which is handy. You've also got a timer, which goes for 10 seconds. And then you also have infinity focus mode, so you can just set it to infinity focus if you're doing landscape, stuff like that. You can take the flash off. You can put the flash on, like sometimes you want a flash look during the day as well. Or if your subject's heavily backlit and you want to even out the exposure bit, you can do that as well. And then there's also a night one, which is, it's a slower shutter flash sync. Now, I mean, the metering of this seems pretty solid, so does the focusing. With all point and shoots, they're not going to be 100% accurate. Of course, you do have some of the pricier ones that do have more focus points and more complicated focusing and exposure kind of things in it. Yes, I'm talking very technical right now.
Like with most point and shoots, there's a circle in the middle of the viewfinder, and when you hold the shutter halfway, it locks in your focus point, and then you just reframe, take the photo. When the orange light is flashing, that means the flash needs to recharge, and then when it's a solid orange light, that means the flash is ready, and then you just press all the way down and take the photo.
But yeah, it's a really nice point and shoot. Unfortunately, I do feel like the prices are definitely more than it probably is worth. If you can find a decent one at a decent price, I probably wouldn't spend more than $150 or $200 for it. I really wouldn't want to spend more than that for a point and shoot in general. Some of these are going for insane prices, especially if this does begin to kind of fill the void that the Olympus cameras currently fill, especially with those getting more expensive. We could be seeing this type of camera getting more expensive because it is very similar to the Olympus I used back in 2020 as well. And so there's a good chance that the price of this is going to go up as well. But just the pocketability of this is amazing, and though I do prefer my point and shoots with just one focal length and a faster aperture, this was pretty fun to use, and I definitely like. Zooms are very handy even though they are a bit slower, and normally with point and shoots at night you're going to be using flash anyway, so really I think this camera is pretty good. And especially with the price I got it for, which I won't say. I really hope my friend enjoys it. I hope they don't break it. And yeah, I know it's going to a good home and someone who's going to appreciate it. It also has a tripod mount so you can do your time releases and slow shutters with that as well. So there's actually is a bit of play with this, more so than some point and shoots I have used before. And so there are ways you can learn to do things, or even be more creative with a point and shoot, like do a slow shutter, do a long exposure. You can do that with a tripod, with a self timer as well, with a flash even. So yeah, I am quite impressed by this little camera. Also came with a case, which is nice. And yeah, Nikon do make really good point and shoots. I know right now the Contaxes, the Olympuses seem to be the main ones. The Yashica T series are the ones people are going for, but Nikon has a lot of amazing point and shoots. I love my L35AD. I'm also currently testing out an L35AF, so that I might sell to a friend as well. This camera was great. The camera I had used before, which I think might have been the Lite Touch 80, but yeah, I'll insert a video and a link here for that one. I've been impressed by them and the designs. They're all really well built. This is definitely a lot smaller than the L35 series, and it's very pocketable, and it's a great point and shoot for beginners, for experienced people, for traveling, just for fun. I'm sure you could probably do a photo shoot with this and the images would turn out pretty solid too. And yeah, even though I'm not really a Nikon person when it comes to digital, I mean, I'm not really a digital person anymore anyway, but their film cameras have always been pretty great, and so I definitely recommend seeking this out. And definitely try and snap it up before the prices inflate as well. I hope you liked the video, guys. Please let me know your thoughts on the film, the camera, the images in the comments below. Feel free to like and subscribe to this post notifications too when there's a new episode. Anyway, I'm Josh. It's been Frames per Second. Just get out there, shoot some film.